Report: House Republicans holding secret talks to build criminal case against senior FBI and DOJ officials. By Joshua Kaplan for thegatewaypundit.com. As of late, we have watched Republican lawmakers point a lot of fingers and toss out a bunch of theories as to who should be held responsible for sourcing, procuring, and disseminating the discredited Trump dossier. A new report reveals lawmakers are secretly building a criminal case against top Justice Department and FBI officials for mishandling the contents of a dossier that describes alleged ties between President Donald Trump and Russia. Politico reports a group of House Republicans have gathered secretly for weeks in the Capitol in an effort to build a case that senior leaders of the Justice Department and FBI improperly and perhaps criminally, mishandled the contents of a dossier that describes alleged ties between President Donald Trump and Russia, according to 4 people familiar with their plans. A subset of the Republican members of the House Intelligence Committee, led by Chairman Devin Nunes of California, has been quietly working parallel to the committee's high-profile inquiry into Russian meddling in the 2016 presidential election. The people familiar with Nunes' plan said the goal is to highlight what some committee Republicans see as corruption and conspiracy in the upper ranks of federal law enforcement. The group hopes to release a report early next year detailing their concerns and about the DOJ and FBI, and they might seek congressional votes to declassify elements of their evidence. When pressed for more details, Representative Mike Conway replied to Politico, "I don't talk about what we do behind closed doors. I'm not going to talk about that," added Representative Peter King. House investigators appear to be building a criminal case while advocating for Attorney General Jeff Sessions to appoint a second special counsel to investigate the FBI and Justice Department's role in the dossier. According to Fox News reporter Jake Gibson, Attorney General Jeff Sessions has called on a senior Justice Department attorney to look into appointing a special counsel to investigate recently demoted official Bruce Orr's contacts with Fusion GPS. Thus far, Sessions has found no cause to appoint a special counsel. Isn't that a joke, right? After all of this. According to the Washington Post, Comey's FBI agreed to pay the British spy who compiled the garbage dossier after the election to continue to dig up dirt on Trump and Russia. The FBI pulled out of this arrangement once the author of the dossier, Christopher Steele, was publicly identified in media reports. Disgraced FBI agent Peter Strzok played a key role in analyzing the infamous Trump dossier supplied by shady research firm Fusion GPS. The move by House Republicans also signals they believe Representative Jim Jordan may be right about how the dossier was likely used to obtain FISA warrants to spy on Trump transition officials. Below is a recap of Jordan's theory laid out on Fox Business News with host Lou Dobbs. Well, I'm just going to repeat what he says, so let's just take a quick listen here.
Discussed tonight among the members of the House Judiciary Committee who grilled the FBI director this morning, Republican Congressman Jim Jordan of Ohio. He's also on the Oversight Committee, co-founder of the Freedom Caucus, and Congressman, you gave FBI Director Wray quite a grilling today. Are you satisfied with the answers that you elicited?
Well, I'll be satisfied when they release the application that was taken to the FISA court. I'm convinced that most likely Peter Strzok was the guy who helped assemble that application, took it to the FISA court, where the court granted, and that application was based on the dossier with all the garbage in it, that dossier was used as a basis for getting warrants to spy on Americans associated with Donald Trump's campaign. So they can prove I'm wrong by releasing the application. I hope they do that.
And stunningly, we find out as a result of agents of the House Intelligence Committee's investigation, and not from the FBI itself, that Bruce Orr, a top member of the management team there at the FBI, he had contacts with Fusion GPS, including contacts with Christopher Steele, the former British spy who was involved in the construction of that discredited Trump dossier.
Yes, Lou, there are a couple of fundamental questions here. Did the FBI pay Christopher Steele? I asked that of Attorney General Sessions 2 weeks ago. He wouldn't answer the question. Did they actually vet this dossier, look at this dossier, go through this, corroborate it, correct it, look at it, because it's been disproven. There's a bunch of lies, a bunch of, National Enquirer garbage and fake news in this thing. Did they actually check it out before they took it to the FISA court, which I'm convinced they do? Those are the fundamental questions, and all this can get cleared up if they release the application that they took to the court. And he said he couldn't do it. They're allowed to do that. They can give it to the Judiciary Committee, the committee with oversight of the Justice Department. They can do that. That clears up a lot of things. But I think they won't give it to us because they did pay Christopher Steele. I think they did use the dossier as the basis for the warrants to spy on Americans associated with President Trump's campaign.
Your charges put it straightforwardly that the FBI leadership is corrupt and acted in corrupt and unlawful manner to achieve a political purpose.
Well, I mean, think about Peter Strzok, the guy who was dismissed from Mueller's team we learned this weekend. Here's the guy who had the Clinton investigation up, interviewed Abedin, interviewed Cheryl Mills, interviewed Secretary Clinton. He's the guy who took the exoneration statement, changed grossly negligent to extreme carelessness. Grossly negligent is a crime. He changed it. He interviewed Flynn. He ran the Russian investigation, and they kick him off for a few text messages because they're anti-Trump. There has to be more to this story, and I'm convinced it's the dossier is the key to this. He's the guy who took the dossier, I believe, or part of the team that took the dossier and took it to the FISA court. This dossier that was paid for by the Democrat National Committee, paid Christopher Steele, who paid Russians to put this false stuff together. He's the one, I think, who was working with others to put this together and take it to the court. That's what we need to know.
And where do we go from here? What's required now is evidence of that. And what I found it really interesting, Christopher Wray, the director of the FBI, in not answering your questions, used the OIG, as many of the Pauls in D.C., Dems, do. He couldn't answer that question because it's under investigation by the Office of the Inspector General, just as many of the answers that you want can't be given you because the FBI is investigating. I mean, at every level, it's because somebody's investigating. It's pure nonsense.
Exactly. You can't hide behind the fact that there's some other investigation going on. And I appreciate what Horowitz is doing. He's a good Inspector General, and he's getting information that's important. But you can't say, oh, because he's doing that, we can't give you the information that we are rightfully entitled to, and the information that will answer the fundamental questions of this whole affair. That's what we're trying to get. So yeah, you can't hide behind that. And remember, Horowitz, the Inspector General, they can't prosecute anyone. They're just getting information.
Right.
They're just doing an investigation. The only one who can hold people truly accountable is the Justice Department. And all this points to one simple thing. This is why we need a second special counsel, which we called for months ago. But every time we learn more, it just reinforces the idea that we need that second special counsel.
Congressman, I am entirely sympathetic with your view on the special counsel, except for one thing. If we end up with twice what Mueller has created, the Republic will be in serious threat if it's not already. I mean, look at what we've got here, as you pointed out today. We have a president whose entire administration is being threatened by a politically corrupt special counsel and politically corrupt leadership of the FBI.
All built on this dossier. And remember what the dossier is about. It was about the FBI working with the Democrat National Committee and their campaign to go after the other party's nominee and the other party's campaign. That is not supposed to happen in this country. And I think it did, and all the evidence is pointing in that direction. That's why we need these answers, because if that took place, if that actually happened in the United States of America, that is as wrong as it can be, and people need to be held to account who were involved in making that all happen.
Congressman Jim Jordan, thank you.
So true. Yeah, Lou Dobbs tried to avoid saying the DNC, but the corrupt DNC, corrupt Hillary Clinton, that's who's the corrupt, the main character in this dossier. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and again, thank you so much for watching.